Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. And the questions I ask are now constrained by previous questions and also by the spirit in which this statement has been made and the way the questions have been answered. The first question I have is a sort of olive branch to the Chief Minister, which is that today he's talked about doing lots of things, and people have asked what that means in practice. Would it be fair to say that we're going back to the Public Service Reform Progress Report, Preparing for the Future, in January 2020, where many of the measures that have been outlined today are actually laid down after the committee that met with Mrs. Kay, Mrs. Barber and myself and a couple of others were involved. Secondly, the Chief Minister today has mentioned the Nolan Principles and governance codes. Does the Chief Minister agree with me that it is a crying shame that we haven't updated the Nolan Principles since 2017, especially given how much they've changed? And does he now agree with me that the crucial ones, as he makes up his mind about politicians and managers, and as government makes up their mind about politicians and leaders, to remember objectivity, which is that holders of public office must act and take decisions impartially, fairly and on merit, using the best evidence. Secondly, honesty. Holders of public office should be truthful. And thirdly, leadership. Holders of public office should exhibit those principles in their own behaviours and treat others with respect. The third question I would like to ask is about the Public Services Commission, because what strikes me in 2020 and 2021 is a potential of a lack of action in all of these areas from somebody like the Public Services Commission, which would seem to have the characteristics and the opportunity to do something about this much earlier. And finally, the fourth question is, can the Chief Minister offer any comment in respect of the work of Tynwald? Tynwald seems to be remarkably absent from the statement. It's all about going back to the 80s and 90s and putting politicians around inside the departments, around the officer decision makers. But it has been difficult for Tynwald in the last couple of years. And I just ask one question: is the Chief Minister happy that the Public Accounts Committee ministers, for instance, who heard evidence from at least two of those individuals who are involved, be able to handle themselves properly subsequent to the events that were going on and the outturn?
Chief Minister, before you respond, there was I think 5 questions so far. The second question regarding public service is the same as Ms. Farrago, so I will not allow that, but leave you to answer the remaining questions.
Well, I think the honourable member has just risen to speak. He talked about going back. We're not going back, Mr. President. We have to go forward. And that is the vital message that we need to take. Now, whether there is some correlation in going forward to what has happened in the past, then that is life. There are only so many cycles within an organisation, but the point is we have to move forward. At points there are chances to renew, revitalise and refresh an organisation. That opportunity is with us today. We should not worry about the past to the extent that things may or may not have been written down. I think that what we need to do is focus on achieving better outcomes now and moving things forward. There is a clear need to improve governance and accountability. I absolutely accept that. We need to have that conversation. We're going to have that conversation in July. There is a clear need to update codes and principles. I've committed to that in that statement. I agree. It is unfortunate that they were last reviewed in 2017, but we're going to get on to renew and refresh those principles and the code of conduct again. In terms of the Public Services Commission, I agree. And I believe that the Cabinet Office Minister will agree with me that the role of the Public Service Commission also needs to be examined as well. And finally, Mr. President, the Honourable Member talks about Tynwald. Tynwald has a role. I have actually mentioned Tynwald in my statement. I told the Honourable Member in the Island Plan there was a clear commitment for us to engage with Tynwald, not behind closed doors, not with presentations, openly, transparently, ministers on the floor, delivering their department's plans alongside their plans for productivity and, indeed, dare I say, the way their departments are operating and being managed and to accept whatever comes from the floor. So Tynwald has an absolute vital role to play here. I said we. I do believe that includes everybody within this honourable court in terms of the role that they and the responsibilities that they themselves also have to play.